2014, comics writer Jason Aaron helmed Marvel Comics' event book, Original Sin, which ran from May to August. According to Marvel.com, the event focuses on Earth's mightiest heroes discovering Uatu, the Watcher, dead on the moon, which spawns a murder mystery that reveals secrets about every major Marvel character. The fact that this storyline is focused on revealing the secrets of every character is really smart, because the dramatic tension, the focus of the event, is less about plot and more about character depth and exploration, and I love this focus. Now, whatever anyone thinks about Original Sin, the event itself is not my focus here. I'm more interested in how this event ripples out over the entire line at Marvel during the summer. At the time, I was heavily into Mark Waid's run on Daredevil. It is one of the golden standards of comic book runs, in my opinion. Often, when these major events happen, the other books at Marvel are disrupted, pausing their storylines to show some connection to the event. And this happens in Waid's Daredevil, of course. Yet, Waid, a master craftsman at this point in his career, uses the event to further develop Matt Murdock. So let's take a look at the relevant issues, issues 6 and 7. As a result of Original Sin, Matt Murdock's mind is implanted with a memory of his life before his mother left him and his father. Waid and his artist Javier Rodriguez carefully disperse this memory throughout the books without any real context. The pages and panels depicting this memory are often reliant entirely on Rodriguez's art, and there is power behind the art and coloring here. The images are striking, not just for their content, but for their layouts and the contrasting colors. Rodriguez's decision to maintain a balance between a color palette of blue and the soft yellow from the window blinds, this decision has 3 important effects on the storytelling. 1. The scene's content is disturbing and unsettling, which the sharp contrast in the color reinforces. 2. Both Jack and Grace Murdock are caged in by the intensity of the moment, which is represented by the bars of yellow evening sunlight pouring across their bodies. And 3. The light almost allows Rodriguez to depict how postpartum depression distorted Grace's personality in such a way that makes her later decision to leave believable. Let's spend some time in that memory to celebrate the effectiveness of both Waid and Rodriguez's storytelling. On pages 17 and 18 in issue 7, Matt's mother recounts what happened in the memory. Up until this moment, Matt only caught part of the truth. He saw visions of his father gripping his toddler self while glaring at his mother, a fallen, beaten woman crunched into the wall on the floor. What meaning would you draw from such imagery? Well, that his beloved late father, the man he looked up to his whole life, the, quote, the greatest man he has ever known, was an abusive spouse, driving his mother away. The Original Sin event unspooled the firm foundation of Daredevil's life. The truth he relied on was suddenly upended. Matt had to get much more context before accepting that his father was a ruthless abuser. So, he sought out his mother. He knew she took up a new name when she fled to the Catholic Church, becoming a nun and redirecting her anger towards social injustices. There's a whole plot with Wakanda and weapons testing and such, but I won't spend time on that plot here. When Matt finally is able to get the truth from his mother, now named Maggie, the narrative of the memory is complete, and pages 17 and 18 fill in the blanks with exceptional craft and artistry. Both pages' layouts include a half-page scene of the Murdock's kitchen/dining room. They are predominantly blue, with those bars of yellow light streaking across the characters. But the most effective storytelling choices on these pages are the grids. Page 16's bottom half relies on a 12-panel grid to show how Grace's mind was warped by her postpartum depression. With concise text in only a few panels, Rodriguez intensifies the emotional pain and anger by drawing a single eye, a single raised hand, a shattering plate, and pieces of the action as Grace attacks Jack and the infant Matt. These panels are scary and shocking, and made so even more by the editor's essay in the back, in which she provides information on postpartum depression and how to seek help. All of this works together to establish the reality of what's being depicted in this issue, lending the issue much more weight and realism. At the end of the issues, I found myself exhausted emotionally, but moved with sympathy and new knowledge. Outside of the comics world, the public generally regards comics as something for children. But what kind of child is this 2-issue story for? What child struggles with postpartum depression? Even issue 6's cover, a tessellation-like spread of nuns with the infant Matt wrapped in a contrasting red blanket, even this cover doesn't scream, "This'll get the kids reading." The implications of who this story was for hit me heavily, and I found myself smiling, falling in love again with this beautiful medium of rich art and dynamic stories. Comics, like any medium, can relate stories meant for children and adults. And I hope issues like these from masterful storytellers like Mark Waid and Javier Rodriguez can begin to change how comics are viewed. By the way, I was able to get these issues signed by Mark Waid at the only convention that I've ever been to, and I found myself speechless when I hobbled up to his table. I've never experienced such a loss for words, but I believe it is due to, in part, the power and maturity of this story. So I hope you find some time to check it out.